Hello, everybody, and welcome to Live with Sarah and Tasha. Tasha is actually in our clinics doing dance days as we speak, bringing joy to our members. How many of you have already participated in dance days this week? I already did it. It was a lot of fun. Our members were having a good laugh and asked for an encore. I said that I felt like I was on Dancing with the Stars because everyone was much better at me in the little Roomba steps. Is I don't know if that's what you would call it. Clearly not a dancer here, but I enjoy just getting out there, and that no matter even if I make mistakes, everybody just accepts me for who I am if we can just have fun with it. So, if Tasha is done with dance days, I'm sure that she will hop on with us. But in the meantime, I'm Sarah and I am your host today. And of course, Tasha and I are LiveWell's original clinical exercise physiologists and health coaches. And we just love jumping on with each and every one of you every week to share our passion around exercise as medicine and really the power of behavior change in truly helping you to live your life to the fullest. And so today's topic is starting a gratitude practice. Many of you will note from being in your sessions this week that we have been talking about this in clinic. And Tasha and I, we are really wanting to bring together the topics on our live sessions with you to tie into what is happening in the clinic so that it's just all around the same theme and so that we're not jumping from different topics, but to really allow you to kind of dive in deeper. And again, at the end of today's session, for those of you who are joining us live, we will be inviting you to have a Q&A and chat time with us on this topic. So of course, with Thanksgiving coming up, we want to talk about gratitude and all of the ways that we can be thankful. And I think that kind of at this time in life, with COVID and entering the winter, this has been going on for a lot longer than any of us could have ever imagined. And so continuing to look for ways that we can be grateful and that we can be thankful. And this season may bring for you a small gathering. It may still not bring you a gathering or a Zoom gathering or virtual gathering or something. But we hope that all of you get to connect with your loved ones in a meaningful way, even if it's a FaceTime or a phone call. And so, those are the small things that we can be grateful for. Gratitude always helps us to find joy. And at LiveWell, you know that one of our core values is find joy. We champion potential, we find joy, we're all in. And at this moment, rather than kind of looking towards a future condition to help us to find satisfaction and happiness, we want to look in the right now. Being grateful is not necessarily about denying us the way that we feel, but it's really about consciously recognizing that there's always some good that exists and focusing on it rather than focusing on the difficulties. So one thing that Tash and I love to do is to refer to the research. And we have a lot of research in positive psychology that actually has shown us that gratitude and practicing gratitude can reduce depression, stress, give us higher self-esteem, better sleep, and overall greater happiness. Those are really, really powerful things. Again, there really isn't even a medicine that could help to do all of those. So it's time for us to get thankful this week. And as we said, gratitude is something that really helps us to find joy. And we know that expressing our gratitude can actually even help us to develop richer relationships. And people who are grateful also take better care of their health and exercise more. So if you're looking to add in an extra Live Well session, all you have to do is wake up that day, have a little gratitude, and who knows, maybe you will find yourself exercising more. And again, this always leads us to greater happiness. And, another area that we want to talk about when it comes to gratitude is gratitude for our bodies. And it's so easy for us to be able to maybe look at the physicality of our bodies, or to look at, what we wish our bodies could do, perform the tasks that we could do. And for many of us, it's, we used to be able to perform in activities, and maybe we can't do those activities anymore, or those have become increasingly difficult. And it's about really focusing on the things that we still are able to do, or even the things that we weren't able to do. But now that we are active, now that we are exercising, now that we are doing that resistance training, that we are able to participate more in. But I'm just going to pause for a moment and welcome our very own Tasha to Sarah and Tasha Live. Hi, Tash. Oh, I need to. Yes. Well, you're going to have to ask to be unmuted. Let me see how I do that, Tasha. I'm going to make you a co-host, and then I believe that you can unmute yourself. So,
thank you. I apologize. I have been working in clinic all day talking about gratitude and encouraging everybody I talked to this morning to join us to learn more.
And I was telling everybody how you were rocking it in Dan's days.
Well, I tried my best.
That's what I said, right? The what do we call it? The Roomba steps?
The Roomba steps.
The Roomba
Yes.
steps. I just kept messing up on those, but I kept doing them. um, and so, we were just talking about really being thankful for, for our bodies, regardless of what we may feel like we where we expect our body to be, where we know our body used to be able to maybe perform in different activities. But I was saying, sometimes it's that we can say, hey, here's what I was struggling with before. And I can find gratitude in the fact that now that I am exercising regularly and doing my resistance training, that I am able to actually do those things better. And maybe I didn't think that I would be able to. And it reminds me of one of our members that shared a story with us that when he started at Live Well, he came in with a cane and he could barely walk on the treadmill. And he shared his love of golf, and that was really his social connection. And he had played his last game of golf several years before, I think almost 10 years before. And now at almost 90 years old, he was just trying to kind of be able to continue to perform his activities of daily living, and to be able to live independently. And that was really his goals in coming to Live Well. And slowly he got onto the treadmill, and slowly he got his speed up, and slowly he got his speed up more and more and more, and his incline, he got stronger and stronger. And he shared a win that was he played his first game of golf back in the circuit, back out there with his friends in his 90s. And just what a way to accomplish something that he didn't think was possible. And for him to just show gratitude in that this moment was so meaningful to him in his life that he got back to golf. So Tasha, I don't know if you want to chime in there on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all morning, what I've been asking people is, do you have a gratitude practice of your own already started? And what I learned this morning working with our members all morning here in our White Rock, South Surrey clinic is some people do, but many people don't. And I think we're here today to really encourage you. And I know it sounds a bit airy-fairy to just use gratitude, but as Sara sort of likely already mentioned, there's a lot of really quality research showing that people who are regularly grateful not only rate themselves as happier and rate themselves as having better mental health and coping abilities in their lives, but they're also in better physical health. It does appear that being grateful can help us exercise more and eat better. So I would love to spend a few minutes sharing some ideas that I've heard over the years, or I've heard from experts about how you can incorporate gratitude into your day-to-day life and how to create a practice of your very own. So if you've been at Live Well a while, you've likely heard the quote, there is always something to be thankful for. And this quote is great because it reminds us, when we dig deep enough, we can find gratitude in every situation. And, so in the clinic today, yes, your knees are bothering you, but can you be grateful for the fact that your knees work well enough to keep you walking on the treadmill or heading out for a walk with your wife or your family? If we look for it, each negative usually has a positive. And it's not about being a Pollyanna. It's just about looking for that positivity wherever you can. So I, on myself, have a practice of every morning when I wake up, I have a little journal that I keep beside my bed with a pen, and I write down 3 things that I am grateful for. This week in clinic, our quote is start each day with a grateful heart. And I actually have that up on a plaque in my home. And I'm taking this research quite seriously. And I have to admit, some mornings you got to dig. Right? You're going, what is there to, what is it? Can I repeat the things I did yesterday again? But if you really think about it, it can be that crack of blue sky that you saw peeking through the clouds yesterday, or the hummingbird that came and just put a smile on my face at the feeder, or, the fact that I had a good night's sleep or something like that. It can be really small, but mining for those moments of gratitude, I think is really important in keeping us both physically and mentally strong. Sara, as you know, I'm always reading a new book. Just finished Effortless by Greg McKeown, his follow-up to Essential, which was kind of like his blockbuster hit of a book. And he suggests a gratitude practice to make your life more effortless that I thought was kind of cool. He said, every time you catch yourself complaining about something, make it a habit to then turn around and say one thing you're grateful for. And I thought that was a really cool one because he also mentioned that then when you catch yourself, you notice you're complaining, and eventually you'll be able to catch yourself before you start complaining. And I thought that was really interesting. And his experience was he didn't realize how much he actually complained. So I thought, ooh, that's kind of a neat way to do that one. And I thought I would share that today and see if that resonated with anybody.
I love that. And kind of just sharing kind of our, traditions and practices. One thing that we do around the dinner table is that my kids at the end of the day share something that they are grateful for and that they can find gratitude in. And many days they say, oh, well, nothing today. Kind of like when you pick up your child from school and say, how was school today? How did it go? What did you learn? Nothing. Did you play with anyone? No one. Oh, well, did anything exciting happen? Nope. And so they're very difficult answers, but slowly my kids have learned to really try to find even one small thing. And that's where even I love seeing the wins on our walls in the clinic that are as simple as I showed up today, right? Starting to turn those positive moments and then reflecting those into gratitude. And I think something else that Tash and I have as a tip here is showing gratitude for your loved ones. Whether that's a quick note, a quick word, a quick phone call, a quick text message, however, the best way is for you to communicate and show them that you appreciate them just with some quick words. And then taking our own advice and giving ourselves a moment of gratitude to look ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves something that we're grateful for just within ourselves. So sharing the love and giving ourselves the love.
Love it. So
Ah,
I I really hope that you sort of over the course of this week and leading into our Canadian Thanksgiving here, that you really consider not only what you're currently thankful for, but how you can continue to create a practice that will remind you every day um, that there is always something to be grateful for. I think, especially coming out of a year like we've had, or the last, what's going on 2 years now, it can be a good practice to get into. So
and if you're
this
looking,
week, maybe,
oh, sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
this week you could try sort of again, make it part of your nighttime routine, writing 3 things you're grateful for, why, or like do it like me, being an early riser. You could make a habit of writing thank you notes or emails to those loved ones, and or reach out to people and just share with them that you're really appreciate the role that they've played in your life. I had a good laugh in clinic this morning. Nicole, one of our staff, was saying, and if there's some people who just really grind you, you can tell them that too. And I said, oh, I don't know that that was in the script. But she said, no, you can tell them how they have helped you see the world through a different set of eyes or something like that. Keeping that perspective, I was like, oh, I love it. We all had a good laugh. And I think that's a cool way to also figure out what you're grateful for. One of the things I read once and try to ask my kids every now and again is, what made you laugh today? And if you can find something, there's something to be grateful for.
I love that. Well, we hope that you appreciated our tips today on starting a gratitude practice. Again, for those of you who are tuning in live, we will stay for the post-show Q&A and chat. But for now, we are going to leave you, and let's all commit to our health this week by being planned and prepared so that ultimately we can go out there and live our lives to the fullest. Thank you for joining us today.